In this video, I wanted to show you some of the most useful Eclipse shortcuts that you can use during development. It will make your life a lot easier. So let me just create a simple Hello World type of an application and add a couple of classes to that, just so we can talk about some of the shortcuts that will help your life as you develop new applications. So this is going to be my driver class, and let's create another one just as an example, and let's say this is going to be the hello class. We can create a couple of attributes to this class, and as you can see, I'm not indenting, so this is a really bad looking code. With all classes you might need constructors. Eclipse can help create constructor. So this constructor does not take any parameters. Then you go to source, create the constructor with different fields, and this particular constructor will take 3 parameters. Now you can take some of the parameters off, some of those fields, and you can also generate the comments. Now in many cases you're going to have setters and getters as you develop your code. It's kind of pain to create those. So as far as creating them, you can auto generate these. Now when you auto-generate them, you can also sub-select if you just want to create the getters or the setters. Play with that, and it's a really interesting wizard that allows you to help develop code a lot faster. You use many times the system.out.println. It's kind of pain again to write all that down. So you can just say sysout and then press the control space in order to complete that. So sysout, control space, and it completes the whole command. Now the indentation, to make your code nicer, you can just press Control I. And that will structure your code a lot better. So you don't have to focus on how to indent your code. Let me just reset it back to really bad looking code. Control I, and it looks a lot better now. Well, sometimes you know what structure you want to use. So if you use some keywords that needs their own library imported into the code and you're not sure what library you need to include, just press Ctrl-Shift-O and it will take care of importing the required libraries, so you don't need to worry about those. Makes your life much easier. Sometimes you might have to delete a line of code, so you can select multiple lines, press Ctrl-D, and that deletes the whole line. Well, you can just press the delete key. It might be useful for you. Alt-Shift-R will rename identifiers. So you can see that I pressed Alt-Shift-R, and when I change my identifier, it changes all the same identifiers throughout the code. And last but not least, you can press Ctrl F11 and run the code. And my last tip is generating the documentation for your project. So under project, you can click on Generate Java Doc. Make sure that you select or point your Java Doc generator wizard to the javadoc.exe on your machine. Select your project and generate the Java doc. At that point, you have your own documentation. So before you use somebody else's API documentation, make sure that you can read and interpret your own Java docs for your own projects. It's a great learning tool, and you should use it as often as possible. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.